Hi, guys. Welcome to today's reading on Is It Worth It for you to give this person or this thing another chance or a second chance? So, for group one, we have Golden Pyrite and Unlikely. Group two, Dragon Blood Jasper and Remain Positive. Excuse me. Group three, Gold Stone and Peaceful Resolution. And for group four, we have Lapis Lazuli and Don't Stop. So go ahead and select your pile. I'll post the timestamps in the description box, and I will see you guys there. Okay, hi, group two. You know what? I said group two, and when I was shuffling the cards, I kept thinking group two. So check out group two if you selected this group. I think that there's going to be some message in there for you. I haven't done group two yet, but group one, welcome to your reading. Those of you who picked this golden pyrite. And unlikely, this is your reading on is it worth it for you to give this person or this thing a second chance. So you picked unlikely. I'm taking that to mean that that is your stance right now. That it is highly unlikely that this is worth it for you. And I think you're onto something, just by looking at the cards here. We also have no. That is pretty much the answer. I'm taking that to be the answer. Um, and the reason I say that is because there's a whole sort of set of things that are more worth it for you to be doing at this time. So we have timeout in reverse. So this is really about taking time out for yourself. We have develop your self-confidence. Self-confidence is an individual's trust in his or her own abilities, capabilities, or capacities and judgments. When you are feeling better about your capabilities, the more energized and motivated you are to take action and achieve your goals. If you lack confidence in yourself, others can detect it. You won't reach your full potential or inspire others. So, this is a time right now for you to develop your self-confidence. We have She-Hulk right here, and look at how strong she is. Do the right thing even if no one is watching. So this is really about taking care of yourself, building up your confidence, doing the things you need to do. Look at how fit she is. Maybe you want to go to the gym. Maybe you want to look good. Maybe you want to improve on something that I'm looking at her hair. Her hair looks gorgeous and long. Maybe you want to work on your aesthetics. Anything that's going to make you feel good and make you feel more self-confident. It doesn't have to be just your looks or your physical body. It could be anything. She's a strong, powerful woman. So it really could be anything. It could be furthering your finances or anything that's going to put you in a better position and that you're going to feel better about yourself for. And this is also really about taking accountability. Do the right thing even if no one is watching. So that is personal responsibility, personal accountability for anything that has happened. And it's probably been a pretty big thing that did happen with this person, and I feel that it is a person, but it's not screaming out very hard. Um, but there is something that blew up, with the tower, and now that it's in reverse, there's some major shocking event, some major thing that um, has happened, or it could be that someone was avoiding for it to happen. Um, but likely it has happened, and now you're on the end of it and you're trying to rebuild. I think that's more likely for most of you guys, because I'm really seeing how this struck. And then it's like when I see develop, I'm thinking of like a building developer or development companies who have to now restructure and rebuild and things like that. So it's really about creating a solid foundation for yourself right now. And I'm also getting that with this um leaf cutter ants, army of life. Ask for help, seek support. You are not alone. So it's really, ants are very social. They're very work together. it's like a network of them. So I'm really getting a thing of working on yourself, doing things that build up your self confidence. Feeling good about how you look, how you smell. I just got how you feel. Um, like maybe you want to feel a little sexy. Like look at this sacred lust. Like get in tune with your sensuality. Like that's where I'm getting like scents and aromas. Maybe buy yourself some new perfume, get some new hair products, go to the gym, work out, establish your foundation, your social network, your connections, the things that are really going to be your new, I was going to say normal, your new baseline. Those are the things that I think are really going to be good for you at this time. And that's what I'm getting with time out in reverse is like now you need to take time out to start to set the foundation for your next step. So in answering the question of is it worth it? The answer right now is no, it's not worth it because what's more worth it is for you to develop yourself and your connections and your physical, your mental, all the things. And with the accountability part, I'm getting that as part of the redevelopment of yourself and your environment. Um, because now you're starting to build yourself back up. So it's really important that the accountability factor has to come in. And that's what I'm getting with timeout as well. It's like you are building yourself back up, but I'm getting a reflection feeling with timeout where it's like you're really taking the time out to clear things out. Like, cause I'm feeling the rubble. Like, I don't know, now I'm thinking of um like Palestine. I don't know why this is like coming to mind, but like having to clear out the rubble. Um, and, you know, that's what I'm getting with forgiveness as well is like part of it. This just got really heavy. There's a really heavy feeling in this reading. Especially with this tower and this forgiveness card and clearing out the rubble. With the forgiveness, I'm feeling this is like definitely work that you have to do in your heart and taking the time out to do that as well. And it's really like clearing out the rubble, clearing out all the stuff that was destroyed and why I feel such a heavy feeling, I'm feeling like it's like a broken heart or something that was shattered. Maybe it was your heart, maybe it was your life that got shattered. And then just taking the time to like clear that out as you're rebuilding yourself and your self confidence and your self worth, um, and things like that. And then here we have you can't be friends with everyone. Friends do what they do because they are our friends and we love them. They do it because they know it is the right thing to do. Um, but while some people can be our friends, others cannot. The difference is that friends can be inconvenient, annoying, troublesome, expensive, and taxing, but we will forgive them. And this is right under forgiveness. I'm getting this to be like you can't be friends with someone you haven't forgiven. Like now there's like some crosshairs going on. So this could be a friend, this could be a lover. Here we're talking about friends, here we're talking about a lover. It's definitely someone who you've had a lot of strong feelings for. And I'm also feeling like this person, this King of Cups could be the person who um you are questioning, is it worth it to give this King of Cups another chance? And I think the answer is definitely no, but I'm feeling like maybe this person is asking for forgiveness because with the King of Cups, this is like very emotional based. Maybe now they're trying to come in being emotionally mature and stable and extending like an olive branch to you. And you're really thinking, well, this person's acknowledging what happened, even though it was a really huge disaster or big event that occurred, like some sudden, collapse of our relationship or friendship or something just blew up. And now they're coming in, like in a very gentle way, an understanding way. Um, just emotionally aware of your feelings and things like that. And if you haven't forgiven that, it's not even just about forgiveness. Because with the forgiveness part, I'm getting like it's a process because you're clearing out rubble, right? You have to bring in the bulldozers, or like not the bulldozers, but like the things, that machines that come and clear out the rubble. Like you have to, it's work to do. It's not just like, okay, it's like one sweep. It takes time. You have to take time out to clear it out. And I think in the meantime, like you can't really like, you can want to forgive them, but, like, have you forgiven them? Like, or is there other feelings involved? Like, with sacred lust, it's like I'm feeling a drive to want to reconnect with this person, whether it's emotionally, whether it's sexually, whether there's an attraction. But there's just a strong pull to want to forgive them, maybe. But the bottom line of this message is right now, it's really about taking accountability and putting yourself in the best, strongest version of yourself, like the She-Hulk. And it's doing what you know to be right for yourself at this time, and it's for yourself. It doesn't really matter, what someone else's opinion is. It doesn't matter if what the circumstances is. This is your time right now. The most worth it thing for you to do is to take time to clear out the space in your heart, to work to forgive for yourself. And in the meantime, you really can't be friends. What's that saying is like you can't heal in the same environment that caused you the harm to begin with. That's what I'm getting with this. And then now the rebuilding process is you rebuilding yourself. You doing the right things for yourself, being accountable to yourself, building up your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, tying in sensuality, and there's like a physical aspect to this too. Like, between these two cards, there is a physical, sensual, strength. And, I'm also getting your diet, your food, everything that is physical, um, will make you feel better. Like that could make you feel better. Um, and then also your network. I'm getting with the network and these ants is, you're not alone. Seek support. Like you're one of many, with these ants, like there's so many of them. There's probably a lot of people in the same, or have been in a similar situation as you, whatever this tower or this major upheaval was. There's other people out there that can support you, will be with you, will provide you a boost to yourself. Like I'm also getting speaking. Maybe some of you guys um want to work on your speaking. Maybe there's programs or things that you can do, because when I'm thinking about confidence, like one of the things that people sometimes want to work on for their confidence is the ability to get in front of a room and give a speech or something like that. Like that's the type of confidence that I'm also thinking about. So there's different ways that you can work on your confidence and yourself, and your self-esteem, your self-worth, and all that. And I'm getting to, with this golden pyrite, that these are the types of things that are going to make you successful too, financially, or in your career, or in any other ways of that you want to make money. So for right now, the answer is no, it is not worth it. The unlikely, I'm thinking like, for now it's a no for sure. In the future, maybe it'll be worth it, but it's still unlikely that it will be worth it. But the message I'm getting is you don't have to decide that right now. You can just take time to build yourself up, and then you can make that decision down the road, when you're in a stronger, empowered place. So yeah, so that's the message I'm getting for you guys, group one. Definitely do check out group two. I'm going to do that reading next. There's definitely going to be some messages in there, if you feel drawn to it as well. So if you like this reading, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, hi, group two. Those of you who picked this Dragon Blood Jasper and remain positive, this is your reading on, is it worth it for you to give this person or thing another chance? So, usually I like to start with a solid answer right off the bat, but I'm not getting that right off the bat. For one, with remain positive, as I was laying out the cards and shuffling, um, I kept hearing like, no, don't be positive about this, which is the opposite of what this says. But I'm getting it in two ways. So the part of don't be positive about this situation, I'm getting it to be, we have the lovers here. Maybe there's a lot of love. I think that there's a lot of love in this situation, right? With this person or whatever it is you're inquiring about. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of emotional attachment there. We have owl and sight. Detach your emotions from situations that you cannot control. And I'm really picking up on this thing of having to detach from the emotional aspect of this situation or your feelings for this person, place, thing, whatever it is, because you have to figure something out and look at it from a long-term basis. So take the long view. Foreknowledge is an awareness of something before it happens. Such knowledge is very important because it gives us the peace of mind of knowing that the world will not end tomorrow. It is how civilizations went from the horse and cart to the jet airliner in 100 years. Foreknowledge is how we use the promise of tomorrow to change and continue with what we do today. So it's like this reading is really about like having a long-term vision of what you want. With the 10 of Pentacles here in reverse, like I'm getting this feeling of like, and that's the question you have to ask yourself, like, what am I looking for in the long run? This is a very gray area I'm picking up with this reading, because, okay, it's kind of going all over. So with this 10 of Pentacles or coins in reverse, I'm getting that this is not like a feasible thing of how you want your life to play out. If it's a relationship, maybe there's no end goal, or, say as an example, you and this person are going down different paths in your life. You guys want different things, but you still love each other and all that. Or something along those lines where there's no like singular end goal or vision that is shared. Um, and the reason I say that is here it says, forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And I'm getting that there is no destination that I'm picking up that is like set in stone for the most part. Because with this take the long view card, I'm getting that like this is an instruction, like what is the long view of this? We have adventure in reverse, and with adventure it's about being in the moment, just going on an adventure, like you're not pre-planning it, it's something spontaneous. And with it in reverse, it's like, it's almost like you you don't want your life to be an adventure completely. Like I'm getting this as maybe a relationship that started off lighthearted or in an adventurous mode, and then it's like, okay, now let's get back to reality. Now let's get back to life, sort of thing. And same with self-discipline. It's in reverse. Um and I'm getting like, how can you be disciplined? So, okay, how can you be disciplined? And now I'm thinking about financially, right? If you don't have a goal for your finances or your money, you then like how do you know what type of budget you should have? You don't have a goal. So, you know, you got to start there. Like that's what I'm getting with this message is, what is the long-term vision? What is the goal? What is that, Um Three of Wands. Yeah, what is the future expectation going to be like? And I think that's why I'm getting that whole don't be so positive. Like this is not it's like, yes, be positive in your life and stay positive, but you can't be positive when you don't have a gauge to say, okay, I'm on track. This is positive, right? It's like now I'm thinking of when you do an analysis, like in some financial, in a company, right? You're looking at the numbers and you're saying, okay, this is our budget. This is how far off we are. This is our, revenue. This is our income. This is positive. We're experiencing a positive trend, right? And that's because there is a baseline, there's a budget, there's an expectation. So you can measure something against it to see if it's going well or if it's going to shit. And with this reading about giving them a second chance, it's like we can't even say no. We can't even say no. Like no is in reverse. We can't say no because what is what is your intention? Like what is your long-term goal? What is it that you want? And there's a really big emphasis here of detaching yourself emotionally and asking yourself, what do I want it to look like? Home in reverse. Do you want a home? Do you want a family? Because here we have home, we have the 10 of coins, which is a family, we have the lovers. Is this a love reading? Is this it's coming across like that, but it's not just screaming that fully. It's really just about, like, it could be about life, it could be about stability, it could be about work, it could be anything, but this is leaning towards love. But it's like, what type of stability do you want in your life? What type of goals? You know, what type of life do you want? Like, what type of destination do you want? And it's really about making that decision and having tough skin. That's what I'm getting with the dragon blood as well, is like having tough skin, making that decision, standing on it, and then deciding, okay, am I on track or am I not? And then that's how you can measure how positive it is. Like, positive meaning, are you on that trajectory? Negative being, no, I'm deviating from it, sort of thing. And so that's what I'm getting with the remain positive, but hey, don't be positive. So to ask the question, or to answer the question of, is it worth it for you to give this person or this thing a second chance? It's really, I'm getting a no, but I'm also getting that there's a lack of clarity on what you really are desiring for the future and for the long term. But I'm getting also too that you're not looking for an adventure. You're looking for something stable and comforting. Like when I think of home, it's like you want to be at peace. You want to, be at rest. You want to feel, it's like, when you're in a relationship and you kind of go into it and it's just super casual. You don't, and then you end up getting emotionally attached to the person, and then now all of a sudden everyone wakes up and it's like, well, you come to find out that this person has these other plans, you have these totally different other plans, and now you're kind of scrambling to make it fit together even though it may not fit together. And it kind of triggers the question of, like, well, what do you really want? And then one person will be kind of dissatisfied, like, no, I know what I don't want, but I can't really answer the question of, what do I want? And this is what this spread is really pointing at, is to really get clear about what you want, because somebody can take you on their path with this forge don't follow. You can end up going along someone else's path and then feel like this path is not for me. So this is really about taking the time to decide, like, what path do you want to be on? Like, what destination do you want to arrive at? And so in terms of giving this person a second chance or another chance, I'm getting this more as, you really have to decide your long-term vision, and think about the future, um, and have tough skin when you're doing it, and detach yourself emotionally from what's currently going on, to be able to answer that. Because I am getting a really big no, um, to be the answer. Um, but I think it's something that you have to think about. You have to think about it because, this reading can tell you no, the answer is no, it's not worth it. But it's really about figuring out what you want long term, you know? Um, and what you expect, your expectations, because your expectations will come with determining, it will come with when you your expectations come from when you have an end goal set, right? So you're expecting, it's like the expected, we're expecting this much revenue, we're expecting, and you can't have an expectation if you don't know what the end goal is. So that's the reading. I hope that answered your question. I am definitely getting a no, but the bigger part of this is figuring out what you want, because I'm taking it like you're not looking for, a spontaneous, adventurous type of life anymore. It seems like now you're in a place where you want to create something and build a home, or build something that you can really look forward to and work towards that. So that's what I'm getting with this reading, group two. If you liked the message, if you liked the reading, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye. Okay, hi, group three. Those of you who picked this pink stone and peaceful resolution, this is your reading on, is it worth it for you to give this person a second chance? So right away, this is definitely a domestic reading. Um, it's a relationship reading for sure. Um, I'm getting the two different energies of, masculine, feminine. We have the Empress, we have the Ten of Cups, we have Anunnaki, controlling drama, conflict of interest. So, when I was doing the cards, I was like, oh, you guys are just fighting. I don't even feel that this is necessarily a thing of giving another chance per se. I'm just getting night and day. We have the sun and the moon. I'm getting, I don't want to say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I'm getting just like a battle of the wills. I'm getting, like, because I'm also getting like a very soft energy here with the Empress, really soft with, the way that they're holding the children here, like very gentle. We're getting relaxed. I'm getting a very gentle feeling, energy. And then on the other side, I'm getting like a harsher energy here, with controlling drama, conflict of interest. And then they're sitting, with their backs to each other. And I'm getting also to this feeling of, when there's fighting, it's it's um it's like black and white, I'm getting like a black and white type of fight, or where somebody comes in and they're more, I don't want to say misogynistic. Like when I say, like, I don't know, I'm thinking of a type of relationship. I don't even know why I'm thinking domestic violence. Um I'm just thinking about fighting that gets blown out of control. Not saying that there is domestic violence, but just when a fight like blows up way out of control, and it's usually beyond what the fight was originally probably about. Although I am getting, it also does stem from like a disconnect, with earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time and nature. When I'm thinking of the pulse, I'm thinking of something that, um it means it's still alive. So the relationship is still alive, it's still pulsing, but there's like a disconnect that's happening, between you and this person, where you're sort of checking the pulse, like, is it still there? Is the connection still there? Is the love still there? Is the emotional fulfillment still there? Is it still what I want? Is it still what this person truly wants? With this nine of vessels, it's about, happiness and wish fulfillment and all that. So I think that is a big issue, is like, is this relationship still alive? Is the connection still alive? Because of all the drama. And like I said, with domestic violence, it's kind of giving that energy of things just blowing up out of control, or, because there's like this disconnect, not just in like the connection, but also in understanding each other. maybe this could also be doing with having to do with roles, gender roles in a relationship. That's where I'm getting with misogyny. I'm not necessarily taking that to be, I don't know if that goes one way where it's men um like having preconceived ideas as to uh a woman's like place kind of thing, or a woman having if or it can also apply to a woman sort of dictating what a man's role is. But maybe there's a bit of that going on where there's disagreement or conflict around what the other person should be doing as a man or as a woman or as their role. Um so you know as far as if it's worth it, to give this person another chance, I'm getting that there is a way to resolve this, right? It's a way to resolve it. And we have relax, because you're asked, it's so cute. You're asking the question, it's saying relax. This card right here, new moon in Cancer, relax. And then here we have the answers you need are coming. So I don't know if you're, well, oh my God, I keep like wanting to cough and losing my like my throat, which maybe you're waiting for communication. Maybe you want to push communication. I'm getting, because here we have the Chariot in reverse, which is, wanting to move forward, want to go after it, want to go go after the communication, like what's going on. Maybe you're trying to resolve it with this person, or you want there to be more communication. And my throat is hurting. Sorry, excuse me. Well, or maybe you've talked so much about it. Maybe this is something you've talked so much about, but it's saying, just relax. The answers are going to come. Don't push for answers. Don't push for it. Just relax. And in the meantime, with begin, it says, may you start as if you have already begun. And with that, I'm getting, um, y- you know, you don't need an answer, or you don't need to resolve things necessarily with communication or verbally sometimes. Sometimes you could just start to act as if. So, like, if you get into a fight with somebody, I know sometimes people want to do the whole repair method where, you talk, you sort it out, you figure it out, um, you know, and then you repair it in that way. But with this reading, I'm getting something where it's more like you can just begin. You can just begin to do your part. You can begin to relax. You can begin to sort of try and see a different perspective. Try to, with this pulse, like bring pulse. Because now I'm thinking of somebody who is drowning. Maybe you're drowning in emotions. And somebody trying to resuscitate them. So it's like bringing the person back to life, bringing the relationship back to life, and checking the pulse. Um, you can just begin trying to resuscitate it, and be like act as if it's already that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. If it's worth it, I definitely think that it's worth it to try. The reason why I say that, because I'm staring right at this card. It's like if you see someone drowning, like it's worth it to try, right? You got to try, even if you think they're not. There's a slight possibility that they're dead already. Um, or sorry, there's a high probability that they're dead already. You're still going to want to try and resuscitate it. You're still going to want to try and save them. And I'm getting that message for you guys in this reading is, if something's dying or you think it's dead, um you can still try and resuscitate it and see if it's possible. Um and if it's possible to give it some time, maybe wait it out, maybe relax, stop pushing for answers or things, but you can just start acting as if, and do what you can do to resuscitate it. But I do get a really pleasant feeling from your end, and even from his end. Like, I'm assuming that you're a woman, or you're like the feminine energy, which is very nurturing and offering and loving. And, um, but I think from this other person's stance is, um, I don't know, maybe they're stuck. Like, I feel like maybe they're stuck on a certain perspective. I keep going back to this perspective thing of having a certain way of thinking about what the other person's role is. Like, I'm looking at this hangman and then these two crows up here and they're looking at each other. It's like, huh, like, I don't know. I'm just getting like, okay, well, how are we supposed to? Because this is the number 13. So I don't know. I'm just getting something like, how are we supposed to do this? Um, like they're kind of looking at each other. I don't know. That's how I feel. They're looking at each other like, how are we supposed to do this? Um, And the answer is just start, just pretend like it already is. And don't push for communication too much because it's going to be hard to speak. Like I had some struggles speaking. Sometimes it's easier to speak when things calm down, and once you already start to act as if, like, that conversation can come up at a later time. But the answer is yes, it is worth it. You can try to resuscitate the connection, and you can just do it by starting. Communication isn't necessarily the way to go right off the bat. And I'm also getting that there's going to be things like there's questions. Because when I pulled out this card, I was looking at it. It's the Chariot, right? It's from the Thoth deck. And I barely use this deck, and I was thinking like, well, what about this particular Chariot card? Like, why this one? Um, and I think that's part of the drama and the conflict, or the control. Like, maybe there's some type of control in this relationship where, I don't know, I'm feeling it could be you. Where it's like it's not a control, but it's well, kind of, it's a questioning. Like, why did we do it this way? Why didn't we do it that way? Why? It's like, why this one instead of that one? Um, and sometimes there's no real answer. It's just because, like, yeah, that was the one I felt like. Um, you know what I mean? So yeah, so maybe that means something to some of you guys. But yeah, so that's the answer that I got for you guys. It is something that can potentially, you can try to resuscitate it. I don't see why you wouldn't. I keep getting that example of, a human potentially being dead, but you still give it a shot to see if it can be resuscitated. Um, yeah, and just start acting as if, and let it be, and don't force a conversation. So that's the reading I got for you guys, group 3. If you like this message, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. Okay, group 4, those of you who picked the lapis lazuli, and was it compromise? Or no, I think it was don't stop. I think it was don't stop. Anyways, it was one of these two. I don't remember now. But is it worth it for you to give this person or this thing a second chance? So for you guys, I'm getting this to be a thing. I'm feeling that it is work related. Um, it's work related. Um, I don't know. I keep looking at this happy ending card. I'll get into that part of. Oh, maybe I'll say it now. So, like, with compromise, I'm getting the answer to your question to be, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. If it's worth it or not worth it. Not a bit of both, but you can hold both at the same time, you know? It's just going to take, you're going to have to pack in your schedule. That's what I'm getting. Like, I pulled out so many cards. Usually I don't get this many cards, but as I was trying to fit them under the camera, it's like, man, I really got to squeeze this in, and it's pretty tight. I think that your schedule is going to be really, really tight. And I think this reading has to do with, weighing out how it is on this compromise, like the scales of, what is your responsibilities. Here we have Syrian's responsibilities, lessons, and growing up, having that on one side of the scale. And then the other side being your gifts, your talents, the things that you're answering the call to want to pursue, right? We have golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. And rare gifts is the part that stands out to me. I'm getting there is a little bit of confusion or uncertainty around how you can balance this out, right? With this Ace of Swords in reverse, and this compromise, right? It's right below it. It's like how can it happen? But with don't stop, it's like here it's saying just keep going, just keep going, answer the call, you know, do it step by step. It doesn't have to be a big ginormous leap, like this Hulk here, think first, smash later. You don't have to burn, something to the ground in order to pursue something else. So that's sort of the message with this too is think about it. I know the lapis lazuli is good for the brain. And also too, I'm getting confusion around a couple things. One is around happiness. We have the 9 of Cups over here. So there's confusion around how to weigh things out, and then there's confusion on like your happiness. And I'm getting the confusion around the 9 of Cups and answering the call, and then Syrian. So maybe there's confusion around your happiness in terms of, if I pursue this, will it make me happy, right? With Spirit Keeper of the South. Well, in the sense that, because this is about the summer, right? The card looks like summer. Summer, it's like, I'm thinking of that song, Summertime When the Living is Easy. You're out in the field. I think this was like an old, Southern song where they'd be picking cotton and it was easier in the summer, it was warmer and things like that. So I'm just getting like this feeling of you wondering, will I be happier pursuing this other opportunity, this other job, career? Not just happy in that you were able to answer the call of your spirit and to share your gifts, but also will you be financially in a place where you're able to be happy? You don't want to be living in discomfort. You want to be able to have the things that are important to you. Um, and then with here, are you sure it's answers you want? And illusions in reverse. So these two cards go together. And it goes with the Ace of Swords in reverse. So again, confusion around like what will make you happy. Like, let me just think about this for a sec. Okay, I'm getting it to mean like, with this tough cycle approaches, and this, I'm taking this tough cycle to be around finances and responsibilities, and thinking that, if you do make this transition, there's going to be a lot of confusion and uncertainty around the type of stability you'll have with following this new path that is more aligned with what you actually want to be doing, or you feel that is more aligned with what your skill set or your gifts are. Um, and there's this thing here with illusions in reverse being, for you to be like not in denial of how difficult it might be. Um, It's saying it's weird because this is saying the end of a tough cycle. So there's toughness in transitioning to something else, in the sense that now you're starting fresh, now you're starting new, you're going to have to build up, it's like starting a new business. But then the tough cycle ends of feeling like you hate what you're doing and you just want to smash your life to pieces, sort of thing. So there's, it's like that saying of choose your heart, choose your heart. But to answer this question of, is it worth it for you to give this a second chance? And the second chance being this gift, this talent that you have. And the answer is yes. It's to go for it and don't stop. And just to find the balance between that and your responsibilities. There's no need to completely get frustrated and, destroy things that you've built so far. You can transition and fit everything together. Like, I'm thinking of the example of myself. Like, I'm making a YouTube video. Um, I have a full-time job. Some people want to be full-time YouTubers. Are you going to just quit your job and say, I'm pursuing this thing over here? Or are you going to try to manage both at the same time and then have it fit into your schedule? And now your schedule is pretty packed. And so that's sort of the message. What I'm getting here with these cards is it is worth it for you to answer the call of your spirit. Um, and that tough cycle that closes off is that nagging feeling that, you have something that you want to put out there. But then the tough cycle also approaches where now you have less time, maybe less comfort. Um, you're on the go. So the message here is just don't be in denial of how difficult it can be. And But it is worth it. It is worth it. And it's worth it to do it in unison. Do what you've been doing as you transition to what you'd like to do. And for some of you guys, I have to say it could be massages. I keep getting massages with this happy ending. I mean, I don't know. I just kept thinking of that. Of massages, of like healing, energetic work. It could be energetic work. It could be, because here we say tenderness in this card, like something energetic, something tender. Um, I don't know, numerology for some of you guys. Um, I don't know, maybe something computer related. I'm also getting electronics or um, videos related. It's different for everyone. But the main idea here is think first and smash later. Don't be quick to let go of things that are going to help sustain you in terms of your life responsibilities. So to answer your question, it is worth it. Give it another chance, and just fit it in where you can. Um, and you'll definitely be happy to do it. And it's definitely worth it, even if you feel like your schedule is really packed. So that's your answer, group 4. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.